Hi, I'm Mr. Peterson, one of the counselors here.
And I'm Mrs. Smella. Hi.
We're kicking off registration season and we have some amazing new resources to help you with your planning and to prepare for registration coming up.
So here's what's on the agenda for today. We're going to show you how to read your transcript. You're going to take the career cluster and you're going to update your multi-year plan. This will all lead up to helping you register for your classes. So what is a transcript? First of all, this is the permanent record of all the courses that you've taken in high school for high school credit. You'll use this for college applications, for tracking how you're staying on your graduation requirements. You'll use this for scholarship applications and perhaps even for car insurance purposes. What we're going to use this for today, though, is helping you plan for your future classes. Here's how you look at it. Each semester is broken down in your course history boxes. So if you'll look, it will describe to you in the course history each class you've taken each semester, what grade you've earned in each class, and how much credit you've gotten for each course that you've taken. It will also give you a semester GPA for each box. Here you'll see in the GPA and class rank box kind of where you stand in your class rank, and it gives you an assortment of GPAs. Please don't put too much stock in the class rank because those change quite a bit each semester. The GPA that we use here at Fossil Ridge is the cumulative GPA, the one that's listed in the middle. That one on this example says 3.943. That is the GPA that you will use.
All right, moving along to the graduation summary. This can help inform you about where you stand relative to the Poudre District graduation requirements. You may want to have your transcript out and take a look as we go along. In this example, you can see the left column shows the Poudre District graduation requirements. You can read all the way down to the bottom, 240 credits are required total for graduation in Poudre School District. Next, you can see what this example student has completed. This student has completed 176.5 credits. Next is the work in progress column. This student is taking 67 credits in the current semester. And finally, the most useful column for students is the needed column. This shows what is remaining after all the courses have been factored in order for graduation. You can see that this student needs 25 credits left. You can see where the numbers are entered. That shows how many credits are in that row remaining. For example, personal finance, second from the bottom, this student needs 5 more credits in that category. We do encourage students to look on the FRHS Course Guide website. That's frhscourseguide.org. That's where you can go more in depth about graduation requirements and see what classes count for which requirement as you're trying to fill in what you need. All right, time to move along. We're going to take a look at StudentVUE to compare what you have with your transcript, and then get into the Career Cluster Finder, and finally put it all together in the multi-year plan. You will need your laptop out for this section.
Here we are in StudentVUE. When you click on Course History over here on the left side of the screen, this will pull up your GPA and your class rank and all the classes that you've taken here out in Poudre School District. If you navigate over to the right-hand side, you're going to click on Graduation Status. This will pull up the same box that you have on your transcript. Here you see the required column. Here's what you've completed. Here in this column is the classes that you have in progress this semester, and here's what you have remaining to earn before you graduate. This person's doing great.
The next step in today's lesson is going to involve us logging into Naviance. In order to do that, you need to go to the Fossil Ridge website, which is frh.pstschools.org. If you just Google Naviance and try and go from there, you won't be able to log in to the proper account. Once you're on the Fossil Ridge main page, find the Quick Links menu in the upper right, and click on Naviance. That will take you to the Family Connection login. Naviance asks for the email, but you actually just need to enter in your student ID number. It will not work if you enter your full email address. Enter in the same password you use for all of your PSD accounts, and you should be able to log in. The main screen looks something like this. It's a little bit different for all grade levels. All right, now to get into the first of our trio of activities, here's Miss Smella.
Here we go. So once you're on this main page, you're going to navigate to the About Me tab. Once you're there, the first step you're going to do is update your game plan. So down here in the third box, you're going to click on the link to game plan, And you're just going to update this survey. This should only take just a few seconds. We really would like to know what your most up-to-date thinking is about what you'd like to do after high school. We'll ask you to do this every year. Once you're done with the game plan, you're going to go back to the About Me tab, and you're going to click on Cluster Finder. This is our career activity that you're going to do for registration this year. This will kind of help you identify areas of classes to explore and things that you'll be able to register for this year. It's going to ask you questions about activities that you like to do. It will ask you questions about things that you value in your friendships and things that you value in relationships with other people and kind of what goals you're driven towards. They will ask you questions about things that you like in school, your favorite subjects, maybe things that you don't like as much. And then at the end, it's going to give you your results and kind of tell you a chart of what your interests are. We'll explore that in just a few minutes. Okay, so when you're done with the cluster survey, your results page will look something like this. Just keep in mind that we want to build your awareness of the things that you like and the things that you're good at, and maybe help you identify some areas that you'd like to explore as you're planning the rest of your high school career. Up here at the top will be listed your top career clusters that you demonstrated interest by how you answered your questions. You can link to each of these clusters, and it will demonstrate careers and college programs and post-secondary options for each of these career clusters. Down here at the bottom, you'll show a ranking of how you answered in all of the different clusters. So this person has a top 3 that are all even, and they can look down here at the bottom to see how they fell in some other of the areas of career clusters.
Okay, thank you so much for sticking with us through the initial 2 activities. Now it's been building to the multi-year course planner, which is what we're going to do next. You can navigate your Naviance back to this main screen here, and then we're going to access the Courses tab on the upper left. Choose that, and then under My Course Plans, choose Manage My Course Plans, hyperlinked below that. Depending on what grade you're in or if you've done this before, this may look a little bit different. This example has not done one yet, so we're going to follow the prompts to add a new plan. So if you choose this button here to add a new plan, it'll default, and then just choose the yellow button at the bottom right, create a new draft plan. It gives a default title for a new one. Hit choose this one, and then it opens up the main interface screen, which we'll be working through for a little bit here. Before we dive into this though, we want to show you a really cool resource that we've set up this year. We think you're really going to love it. We'd like you to go to FRHScourseguide.org. This is our online course guide that you'll be using later on when you choose classes, but right now for your planning. So on this main screen on the course guide, you will choose the menu and then find multi-year course plans. And this is where it all comes together. What we've done for you is department leaders and counselors have created example multi-year plans that meet PSD graduation requirements, but also fall into the Colorado Career Cluster model. So underneath these different highlighted areas, you can find hyperlinks to multi-year plans in an Excel format that you can download and manipulate yourself, and you can use it as an example as you build your multi-year plan in Naviance. I know it's a lot of information to juggle, but we think it'll be helpful. So let's say, for example, this is a student who's interested in music performance. They could choose this one here, and it will pull up a Google Sheet. It's pretty easy to understand. You can see, just like on your transcript, the PSD graduation requirements on the left, and then by grade level, what falls in what category. We try to keep things aligned and have the credit totals match up. It auto sums here at the bottom, and if you scroll, you can see how everything adds up. Some of the teachers for some of these areas even put in extracurricular activities that they recommend. You're free to do that as well. Again, this isn't something you have to work on in the Excel format. You'll be working in Naviance. We just want these to be a reference. We also need to point out that these are not binding or anything other than that. They're just meant to be examples to support your efforts in finding a plan that fits your interests and supports your goals for graduation. So we want you to use this website on the course guide as much as possible. Going back into the course planner, here's Ms. Smella to talk us through how this is going to work in Naviance.
Thanks, Mr. Peterson. Okay, here we are in the multi-year plan. And again, this isn't going to be a perfect tool for you to use, but we just want you to get thinking about kind of what your goals are by the time you graduate from high school. So here's what we're going to do. We've broken everything down by graduation category over here on the left. For example, you're going to choose Language Arts. From there, once you open up the Language Arts tab, it's going to ask you to choose which classes you either plan to take or have taken in each grade level. So here, this person took English 9 and 9th grade. As you fill your plans of the classes that you have taken or the classes that you plan to take, you'll notice this status bar here across the top. It will tell you if it's green, if your status bar shows up green, that you have planned to meet all of your graduation requirements in this particular category. If it's still in yellow, it will tell you that you still need to build in another class or two in order to meet that graduation requirement. You'll go subject area by subject area, and you'll be able to kind of plan the classes out that you'd like to take. Naviance isn't totally intuitive, so there's things that aren't overly straightforward. So just do your best and know that we just want you to think about what your goals are and plan to make sure that you can fit in everything that you need to graduate from high school. If you'd like to make some notes or jot down some ideas, you can use this feature right here. If you'd like to refer back to another plan that you've already made, you can refer back to a plan that maybe you did in previous years. Okay, when you're done, you just need to review and finalize your plan, but please do not scan it. Okay, you just need to stop at step 3 up here.
A couple more features we want to point out. Now, if you're going through the main interface here, if you mouse over a course, it will bring up the credit total and the course description. So this is another convenient way to access that information other than searching in the course guide. And then as you're scrolling down through the options, make sure to load it into the system. Hit Add Selected Courses to your draft plan. It will specify the grade levels that you want it. In this case, English 9, 9th grade, of course it is. Hit OK. And it loads in there. Now, as Ms. Smello was saying, it shows your progress towards the graduation requirement. It's fairly intuitive to progress through the graduation requirements after that and just go through in the same manner, adding courses, loading them in, and seeing where they fall. This example is very sparse, but if you go to the Review and Finalize, and then if you hit the View by Grade Level, this is the most intuitive way to look at it. You can see the courses laid out by each grade level. Remember, 70 credits is about the maximum you can have in the regular Bell schedule, so if you have some lopsided amounts, definitely go back and start readjusting those in the Modify Courses step. We also get lots of questions for students that are in courses like marching band that repeat all 4 years that are hard to load into here, or people that have credits from summer school or middle school. Don't worry about those. Feel free to enter them in however you want. This is just mainly, again, a planning tool to use in conjunction with these multi-year plans. Now that you have that knowledge of your career cluster area, hopefully you can bring all of this together and form the most meaningful multi-year plan possible. Again, we're registering soon, so please get this done. If you have connectivity issues or doesn't work out today, feel free to do it at home. Thank you so much for your time today and for listening to us.
Have fun.